Live from the Loop Studios in Mendon, Nevada, it's the GenXtalks Podcast.
Making plans with the boys. I'm gonna hit the town. Yeah, I'm gonna make some noise. I'll push past the pain and my wounded pride. I'm gonna live it up. Yeah, stay out all night. But sure, I've had some better times. And I can't count all the tears I could write. And maybe down my list. Yeah, but the blues to me just
All right. Oh, I can't tell. Did we cut off the song correctly? Did I wait too long? I don't know.
Where were you? Why weren't you on time?
I was with my doctor-prescribed concubine having a conjugal visit, and it lasted longer than I anticipated. All right. Let's see. The broadcasting.
You want to start the podcast?
Yeah. Would you like me to start the podcast?
Yeah.
I can start the podcast. Welcome to the GenXtalks Podcast, broadcasting from the Loop Studios live in Mendon, Nevada. It is 2 minutes after 10 o'clock Los Angeles time.
Are you okay?
I think so.
Are you ready to start your day?
Hey.
Actually, your day has started.
My day started at 5:30 this morning. We'll get to that in a little bit.
So did mine. Your alarm goes off and wakes me up.
Well, what do you want me to, what would you like? I'm dumbfounded right now. What would you like me to do about
You're
that?
dumbfounded? That's
Like
awesome.
me to have, is there a wife-only snooze button where only I can hear it? Is it a husband-only
It
alarm?
wasn't just your alarm.
What?
Then it was like, answer your phone. Our daughter wants to talk to you.
Okay.
Oh, good God. It's 5:30.
It was, but she had a medical question at 5:30 in the morning, and I don't know anything about medicine, so I'm like,
I'm not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor. Do I look like a doctor? I'm no doctor.
I'm not a doctor. I'm a trained professional semi-doctor having 8 kids, but
I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so I couldn't even play a doctor on TV.
all right. Well, the other thing is that right after that, I talked to her. I
Yeah.
gave her my opinion, my
Yeah.
motherly opinion. I crawl back into bed and my phone dings. And it's our beautiful daughter from Texas saying, we're on the road.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, good
You
God.
see, future son-in-law and I got all that out last night. We talked about a bunch of stuff last night. Why? Because he didn't want to wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning when they're on the road. He was smart. Talked about it all last night. Got everything ready last night.
This is our daughter and future son-in-law. They are leaving Texas today, and they are moving back to California. We will talk about that.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
So I get up to take Briggs to work.
Uh-huh.
I was going to save the Briggs update for last, but I'll talk a little bit about it now. He's going through a few bumps, figuring some stuff out. Let me explain why.
All right, go.
So yesterday, I got up to drive him to work if he needed driving. See, he drove home the other day. A couple days back, they sent him home early and said, hey, storm's coming in. You got a rear-wheel drive pickup truck. We're anticipating a bunch of weather. He worked over half a day, and they're like, just take off, man. Just get home. Even with that.
The music keeps popping on in and out.
For?
Staff is saying.
All right, let me try it again.
I don't want to mess it up.
I have now reconnected the butt. I disconnected, reconnected the butt.
Staff, let us know if it's still happening.
I'm hardlined, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So they sent Briggs home and said, hey, get out in front of the weather. Even with that, I tracked him on the 360 app because most of our family is on the app. We share with each other. And he 25 miles an hour.
He said leather and lace now, Don Henley. There's more music.
Really? How can there be? Hang on.
Do you want me to check the hard line?
Yeah, did it come out?
Nope.
Okay, well, it says we are streaming on the radio.
I'm just telling you what staff is saying.
Well, God damn it. Now I got to replug, unplug, replug, do-plug. Let me see. I will look and see. I don't think this is on my end. This is maybe on a KGXT end. Let's see.
More music.
Really? How can there be? Hang on. Now see?
Check the hard line.
That's the radio.
Did it come out? Okay.
See, I'm playing the radio in the background. That's why you heard me double. It's fine.
Danny says we're good to go.
Yeah, I know we're good to go. I'm trying to tell a goddamn story here.
Okay, so when did that start? That was
So
Tuesday.
2 days ago, they sent him home, and even sending him home early as the weather was coming in.
Because Reno was bad.
Reno gets some very tough wind and snow. I mean, it's bad. It's
Reno's
worse than I
at the
thought.
end of the 80 coming through the Sierras, if anybody wants to know.
Yeah, you come over Sacramento over I-80, and it kind of funnels down into Reno.
Yes, it does.
And man, they pay a price for that. I mean, it's beautiful there, but there's times they pay a price. And when the storm comes in, it just seems to hit downtown Reno as hard as it hits anywhere. So even going home a couple, 2 or 3 hours early, he was on the road 25 miles an hour. 15 miles an hour, and this is on a road that the speed limit's 70. So you know that him and everybody else, they're having a few issues there.
And there's a stretch of road that has that big bridge.
There's a bridge
funnels
that's scary bridge.
Even in good weather.
Brand new, big, beefy bridge, but it's scary because the wind comes through there, almost like if it was iced over and you were parked. The wind could blow your vehicle from one side of the bridge to the other. That's how it feels.
And the other side of the bridge is straight down.
Straight down. You're dead. You're gone. You don't go over the bridge.
Yeah, it's very scary.
It's, he's a good driver, but he's new to this. He drove very carefully coming home. He did lose control. Sometimes he couldn't stop, couldn't steer. Sometimes he went to go forward. Tires just spun. He finally got a little bit of an awakening to what that's like, and not a lot. I mean, he's just that was a great introduction for him because it wasn't super bad, but it was bad enough that it caught his attention.
I don't know. I know where you're going with the story is. I wonder if it scared him.
Well, I think part of it did because the next day he's like, "Hey, if it's bad tomorrow, can you drive me?" Yeah. So I got up the next morning. The roads were terribly bad. I mean, it was coming down. The plows were out. I looked on the Waze app and I looked on some other accidents all over the place.
Yeah, the weather report said we got 10 inches in 24 hours. That's a lot.
So that, for us, people in Minnesota are laughing at you going, that's nothing.
I know, but for us.
It's, and for him, that's a ton to deal with. So he called out. He called in and says, "Hey, I can't get in," which was pretty fair because even they hadn't plowed our streets yet around here. And it would be difficult to get in and out. So, okay. Now, the next day, which is today, I told him, it's probably going to be good. And he's like, "Well, I just can't tell." And I go, "Look up in the sky. Can you see the stars? Are there stars in the sky?" "Yeah, there's stars in the sky." "Okay, we're not dropping any new snow then right now, are we?" And they've been plowing all night. Let's go. And he comes out this morning. I'm dressed at 5:30. I'm sitting in the living room ready to go. And I had started warm up the truck, and he says, "Well, I looked, it's change required." I go, "Change required where?" He goes, "Yeah, 4-wheel drive, change required all through the Washoe Valley, and that's his direct route getting to work." And I said, "All right, I'm thinking, no way is that possible. They've been plowing all night. They've been sanding and graveling all night. And there's, it's clear. It didn't make sense to me." So he says, no, it's change required. I checked. So he goes back to bed. I started checking around, and even the Nevada Department of Transportation stuff, they're not updated. Like one of their things says change required on one road, but that was from 2 days ago. It's like they didn't even update it. So I just went to the live camera feed, and I could see all the live cameras from all the way from Minden into Reno. And I texted him these screenshots, and I go, "Dude, you should go. It doesn't look that bad. There's blacktop. There's people driving. There's lots of traffic. Maybe you should go." And he's like, "No, I just..."
I think maybe he's a little scared.
I don't know, but he on his phone, it was real, but he was looking at Apple Maps, Apple something on Apple, and it did say roads closed or partially it showed it all the way up through, but I didn't look at the date. Maybe it was also 2 days behind or a day behind. So but
the way it's snowing right now,
well, but he comes into the studio this morning and sits down, and I'm like, "Dude, I think you should have gone." Now here's what I told him.
Okay.
I said, "You don't want to be that guy who every time the wind blows backwards, everybody knows you're not coming in." I said, I'd rather you be the guy that there's a snowstorm and you show up in a parka and people go, holy shit, how did you get here? I'd rather you be the son who shows up and goes, it's time to work, let's go. And a little snow ain't keeping me back here, ain't keeping me down, I'm going. And I told him that this morning to his face. I said, I'd rather you be known as that guy, because everybody at your work today, I'm sure they showed up. The cameras downtown Reno don't look that bad. So, I didn't jump on his ass about it. I'm trying to teach him gently. But my words were, you need to fix this. Just like when he used to be late. I sat him down and said, you cannot come in sliding into the parking lot with 1 minute to clock in. You cannot be that guy. Please don't be that guy. Nobody likes that guy. And then and he fixed it. Now he gets there really early every day. This is another one of those conversations as a dad. I said, please don't let I saw the geese were flying the wrong direction, I can't come in today. No, be the guy who shows up even if you have to cross a stream of lava. Be known as that guy. That's what I said.
Well, it was funny because I think he came into my office after you spoke to him, and he was asking me about my class that I took. And I'm like, I don't think you're really interested in that. What do you want to talk about, son? And he just told me, he goes, I think I've been lazy the last couple days.
Yeah.
I said, why do you say that? I wanted him to tell me. I go, why do you say that? He goes, I just, I need to be productive today. And I said, well, what are you going to do about that? Like what? Because there are some things he can take care of today. I've been kind of riding his ass about it. So we'll see what happens. But he came in to talk to me about that.
Yeah, I think I'm glad that he's self-aware, and I'm glad that he's past that. Now it says we're connecting again. It started us over, connecting on.
They're saying the music is coming in and out again.
I don't know why. Let me try to redo it again. I don't know why it's doing that. It shouldn't be.
Everybody's saying it. I got Two Bear telling me. I got Dr. Zavala telling me.
Okay, so now I'm back on there again. I just reset it. I don't know. That's got to be a connection on the radio station, not on my end. There's nothing stopping it. We are hardlined right where we're supposed to be. We're not even on Wi-Fi.
Is it going to record with the music or just our voices?
Just our voices. It's going to record. Everything's recording perfectly.
Okay, so we'll just keep going.
It's a little bit tough, but I reset it again. But it resets my timer. The butt broadcast using this tool, the butt, which connects to kgxtradio.com. It has a timer. Okay. So if the timer resets, then I know there was a glitch. So
right. We'll just keep going. We're really sorry.
That was how this morning went. Really early, and of course he went back to bed, and we didn't talk till a little later. But after I'm sitting there in the living room, I'm already up, dressed, and ready to go, and of course, I feel that cattle prod up my ass, not in a good way either. And it's Dr. McDreamy reminding me, go get your lab work done.
And your wife, because I got up and go, you need your paperwork.
Yeah. So grab my paperwork, grab my wallet, warm up the truck, and head out.
And I went back to bed.
You went back to bed. I get down there, and I walk into the lab. Now, little refresher from 2 weeks ago. I went with you to get labs done. They did your blood work, but they kept putting me off because the mean lady at the window kept saying, no, you can't go before appointments. And the room was filling up. There was appointment after appointment after appointment. I'm like, well, what if there's like 6 hours of appointments? And the lady's like, well, then you're going to be here a long time.
Oh, was it the same grumpy lady?
So I said, well, again, I'm referring to the time we went there.
Okay.
So I said to the lady with you when we went there, I said, just give me my paperwork and I'll reschedule. Okay, that's why I didn't get my blood work drawn the first time. We know that's a recap. So I go there today by myself. There's like 2 women ahead of me. We all kind of walk in at the same time.
And tell them it's like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Right at 7. I was first one there. In fact, I was the first one there. I think I held the door open for the other 2 women, which is why they went in front of me. And I'm okay with that. I'm just saying we were all there right on time. And none of us had appointments because walk up to the window and they said, I'm just here to get my blood work done. Do you have an appointment? No. Okay, go fill out your stuff at the electronic kiosk. So I'm third in line. We all fill out our stuff. We all sit down. Now, the girls ahead of me, the women ahead of me, as soon as they're done logging in, the little electronic thing. They walk up to the window with their paper, with their blood work. And she's like, "Oh, thank you. Yes, here, let me make a copy. Let me put it in. Let me fill it in."
She was nice.
I know she was being so nice. This was the lady the one person in Northern Nevada that I didn't get along with.
Maybe today was a good day.
Maybe today was the good day. So, second lady goes up and gives her "Oh, yes, thank you. Let me get your paperwork." So she sits down. I go to walk over, and this lady's so short sitting in that chair compared to the window. All I see was the top of her head from her nose up lean in her chair to where she can see me through the window, and she goes, "Just go sit down. I'll call you."
Well, maybe she doesn't like men.
So I thought, well, they walked up. I was being polite. I was going to give her my paperwork. I saw them do it.
You didn't even say anything, did you?
No, I just saw them. They didn't say anything. They walked up and just presented the paperwork. I thought, oh, well, I should do that too. As soon as they're done, I'll walk up.
Okay.
No. So I sit down. Not only does she not call me to the window, a little while later, she just walks out in the lobby and sticks her hand out.
Oh,
Have you ever seen, they always summon you to the window.
That's right.
She just walks out and stands there and puts her hand out.
Oh.
So I got the
It was
paperwork.
like the principal's office.
Right.
Was that flashbacks?
Oh, it was a little traumatizing. So I give her the paperwork. She walks away, and I'm like, all right, well, that was weird. So the two ladies go in and get their blood work drawn, and they leave. Now the nurse Ratchet, who I don't get along with, is calling the blood technician in to her office.
Okay.
And I can't quite hear everything, but she goes, I don't know if this is right. So Dr. McDreamy would have to confer on this. When you give them your blood work, he has checked off the boxes on what panels he wants run.
Correct.
Okay. That determines how many blood vials they draw.
True.
I would guess.
Yes.
And they label them differently. They don't label all my blood work with just my name on it. It appears to me they put different test stickers on different vials.
What they want to do with it. Like one
Which
would
seems
be your
odd. Wouldn't they just send it all
thyroid.
in with a list and say do your best? But they label. I think they label them differently, and here's why. She says, "I don't know what this word means." Now they're looking at my blood work.
What?
What
word?
Nurse Ratchet calls the blood technician into her office up front behind the little window.
Okay.
Nobody else is in the lobby, so I can hear. And she's putting my blood work into the computer. She goes, "I don't know what this is. I don't know what the doctor's requesting."
So they didn't understand the box that Dr. McDreamy checked.
I guess. So then she says, okay, well, I know what these two are for, but I don't recognize this one. What test are we supposed to run on this one? Now, I don't think they're running the test there, so I think she meant, how do I label the vial so it gets the correct test run?
Or put it in their system,
Right.
like the code
And
or
she
whatever.
goes, "I don't know." And then the young girl goes, "Let's just Google it."
Of course.
And I thought, okay,
Of course.
you have to Google how to do your job.
Good God.
So she goes, "Oh, you know what? This is another levothyroxine test. I would have missed that. I wouldn't have known what that was." That's what she says.
You want to know what Dr. McDreamy just wrote me?
What?
That's incompetence.
Yeah, well,
Exactly what I texted
just telling
earlier.
you. So she says, "I don't know what that is." And they Googled it, they looked it up, and then they had an argument over
Oh my
which
gosh.
test should be included. No, you got to label it. You got to do this test. She goes, "No, we have to do that test."
Why don't they just call the doctor? I'm
I
sure
don't
they
know,
could have just called.
But I'm sitting there listening, going, between the two of them, there was something on his paperwork that stumped them completely.
Well, you must have had something totally different than I did because nobody discussed my paperwork.
Yeah, you just went, and it was the same people.
Yeah.
So I now stand up where I'm looking like I got that surprised look.
loved to find out what
I
it
have a
was.
concerned look. I'm across the room, but they can see me looking through the window like, really? I'm letting them know Gaijin is catching on here, okay? I'm catching on to what's going on. So what Nurse Ratchet does? She goes, "Hey, just go sit in room 1 and wait for us."
Oh, shit.
So
Such wonderful bedside
my
manner.
fat ass walks down to room 1. Now, the blood technician girl, she's got to be like 12. I mean, she's got to be 12 years old. She is young. She's happy. She's bippy. She's pretty. And I go in and sit down, and she's, going around. She's waving and talking pretending like I didn't hear every confusing word they were going through. All right. So she goes back and forth up and down the hall in front of room 1 several times. No other patients come by yet. I'm sure that the lobby's now getting more patients because I could hear the door. And who comes in to draw my blood?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Nurse Ratchet. And I said, so I didn't know you drew blood too. And she goes, we all do here. We take turns. I said, I'm just saying, I just never seen you back here. So you've always been, kind of manning the front counter. She goes, well, and she's putting on gloves, snapping these gloves on like she's going to give me a colonoscopy is what it looked like.
She thought you needed one, maybe.
I don't know what she thought, but so all of a sudden I set all my stuff down. I'm sitting straight in my chair. I'm being very polite. I'm trying to I had no idea she was going to be the one drawing my blood.
But you were nice to her.
Very nice. It was so nice and so polite. And, she's like, well, what do you do for work? And I'm like, as little as possible.
Oh,
and she goes, I don't understand that. I said, well, that was a joke.
Oh, no sense of humor.
I was being funny there. Anyway. So I go ahead and she uses my right arm, can't find a vein. She's like tapping, looking, tapping. And then she goes and she's poking, like trying to find something. And she pokes again. And I'm like,
I hate when they do that.
I don't mind. It does not bother me at all. And she started to get concerned, like, is this bothering you? I said, no, I'll tell you honestly, I don't mind if you keep looking for a vein. I don't care.
You know what's worse is when they poke you and then they move the needle around in your arm.
You really just want to jump my route, don't you?
I do.
I said, I really appreciate you. You can look around and keep poking all you want. It's when you dig.
Yes.
I can't stand that. That hurts. And she goes, oh, I won't dig. If I don't find it, I'll try again. I said, you try. I'll be here as long as you want. I don't like nurses who poke it in and dig around. That bothers me like I want to rip the chair apart like the Hulk.
Yeah,
and she goes, no, I won't do that. Okay. So she tries like 3 times, 4 times in one arm, twice in the other. And she goes, okay, I'm just going to have the other girl do it. All right. So the other girl comes in. She's kind of cleaning up and moving stuff around. And she says, the young girl comes in and says, well, how's he doing? You can't find a vein? And the Nurse Ratchet goes, no, but he doesn't mind us trying. He just doesn't like nurses that dig around. And she raises her hand and goes, that's me. I'm known for digging around here.
What?
Why would she tell me that? Why would she say that out loud? She's smiling like, oh, well.
Like she's proud of it?
Unlucky day for you, because that's kind of what I'm known for. I dig around. I said, okay, well, don't. I told her, I said, please don't do that. I don't care if you stab all over my arm 500 times, but just don't. You can do it all day long. It doesn't bother me one bit.
Right.
Don't dig around. And she goes, well, I'll try not to, but that's how I find the vein. I'm like, oh, my God. Now I don't want to be there.
No.
So Nurse Ratchet leaves, and this girl tightens that rubber band on my arm so tight. I said, hey, that's tighter than usual. Like, I've had blood work done a lot. She really tightened it hard. So she tries 3 times in my left arm. Now she's tapping the back of my forehand. She's like trying to find a vein around my knuckles and my veins up there. And sure enough, she starts digging around. And I'm grabbing with my other arm the tray they fold in front of you. I think I'm about ready to snap that thing in half. It hurts so bad when she's doing it, and I'm just sitting there, and she's like, are you okay? Are you okay? You don't look okay. Are you okay? I was like, I don't know what you're asking me. And she goes, I want to know how you feel. I said, oh, how I feel? If you're worried about me passing out, no, I'm not going to pass out. If you're worried about me taking this chair and breaking it into 38 pieces, I'm real close. Yeah, because you digging around hurts. And she goes, well, now Nurse Ratchet walks back in. Now there's both of them. And they're undoing. We said, look, you're just going to have to come back. We'll take everything off. You're going to have to come back. Now you need to let all these holes heal up for about 5 days. And Nurse Ratchet goes, you didn't drink enough water. You were supposed to drink a lot of water. You probably didn't drink enough water. And then the other nurse, while she's collecting her stuff and fixing me up with cotton balls, she goes, and you probably didn't dress warm enough. You need to dress warmer. If you dress warmer, that keeps everything going. And the one nurse is like, water, water, water. And she's like, dress warmer, dress warmer. And so I said, trying to break the ice again. I said, well, how about if I just drink warm water? I said, well, warm water. They both stare at me like they have no idea that was a joke. They just look and they're like, what? Again, I said, okay, that just joking. I'm just, you said warm, you said water. I just put the two together, warm water. And they're like, oh yeah, that's funny.
Well, you started their day off rough today.
So I think the woman, the younger girl, was starting to figure out this was a little bit of an inconvenience. And I said, I will come back in 4 or 5 days and I will try this again. And yes, I will drink a bunch of water. Yes, I will wear like my hoodie I'll do what you guys are saying. So I'm standing there getting ready to walk out. And the younger one starts rubbing my back.
Aww.
With one hand. She's rubbing a circle like I'm a 10-year-old who was misbehaving and isn't going to get his lollipop. Oh, I'm rubbing my back. I'm sorry, you're not getting a lollipop. Go on now. We'll see you in 4 or 5 days. And it's like, okay, well.
And they gave you your paperwork back, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we should go to a different lab.
I don't know. Now it feels like we have to finish this with this. Like I got to win. I got to get in there and get it done and go. I got to make them do it. So, Dr. Madrimi said, drink some yuck water before you go, which
hydrate.
I got to be fair about the yuck water.
Yes.
It's still yuck water. There's no cutting it. This is just, it's gross. It's horrible. It's like when you accidentally drink salt water in the ocean.
No, it's not.
However, I will tell you, after conducting my own scientific experiments
of what?
Of not using the yuck water for like a week or 10 days.
Okay.
If I go without yuck water for about 10 days and you and I are talking about something, I can picture things in my mind that my mind can't get the word to.
What?
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. Like I'll sit there and we'll be talking about something and I can see in my mind, I want to tell you potato. I can see the potato. I can picture potato. I can picture mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, and French fries, but my brain can't find the word potato. So I'm staring at a picture of a potato in my head, and no word. You can say, what was the actor in that movie? I can see Al Pacino in my head, can't think of his name. Go back on the yuck water. 2 days in, if I'm sticking with it, I can think of all the words. I've never missed a word. And that's happened 3 different times where I'm like, why can't I think of anything? It's like, oh, I haven't had yuck water in a week. So I'm going to change it. I'm not always going to call it yuck water. I think there's a better name for it.
Yes. There has to be better.
There is. Brain crystals. Because they're crystals. They're brain crystals.
Powder.
Hey, they're brain crystals.
How about crack powder?
No, brain crystals is right. Is more accurate.
Right.
So when I tell you in the morning, hey, I got to go get my blood work done. Dr. McDreamy said, take my brain crystals before I go. There's no other way to take them than yuck water, but whatever. They are brain crystals, and they really do work because I have conducted experiments, and I've gotten some answers on that.
Well, that's good.
Anyway, so the bottom line is that I will tell you this, they got one vial out of me. I forgot to tell you that. She got one vial out, like the young girl says, okay, I found the vein. It started. And she leaves the room, and Nurse Ratchet comes in, and she's sitting there watching the vial fill up, and then the blood starts going backwards. Like I can see the bubble in the little tube. Like it stopped flowing, and there was an air bubble in the tube, and then the bubble starts moving back towards the needle.
That's not good.
And she goes, oh, it stopped. And she looked at me. I'm like, I didn't do it.
My job.
I'm just sitting here. I didn't,
Oh, good God.
Yeah, so they did get one vial out, and then she threw it out. She didn't even keep the one vial. She goes, well, I don't know about this one. This one may not be good. And she just threw it out and said we had to start over. Yeah. So
sorry you had a bad experience.
Well,
but at least you tried, and
I did. It's not
Dr.
like
McDreamy, we informed him, or you informed him the whole time what was going on. So.
There was one more thing in the office when they couldn't figure out what it was. They had to get on their phones to Google it because the Nurse Ratchet goes, my keyboard quit. I can't get my keyboard on the computer to quit. She goes, let me go grab my phone. And then they Googled what they were supposed to be doing for his directions on her phone because her keyboard quit.
Oh, my gosh. That's so funny.
So there you go.
Okay. Wow.
Then I got all the way back here and couldn't get in the driveway because the snowplow plowed all the driveway in front of the driveway. And yesterday I told Briggs, go clear the driveway. So all he did was clear out for his 2 places where his tires would go. He cleared out 2 tire tracks for him. So I go to get back in, even though I backed out of it, and I had to put it in 4-wheel drive to get over the snow to get into the driveway. So as soon as it warms up a little bit, I got to go shovel the whole, put the cars out and shovel the whole driveway.
That's a good job for him to do today. He likes it out there in the snow.
But now that you've driven on it, he won't be able to get the stuff you've driven on up. It'll be packed ice.
It'll be ice.
He'll be done.
Well, the other thing is when it was snowing the other day, it was really cute. The kids are out of school this week, not due to weather per se. They have what's called, the mom across the street told me, they call it ski vacation or ski. Oh my gosh, what did she call it?
What a great school system where you have a ski day.
Ski week or whatever. They give the kids off a week in the winter, and she says,
to go
they
skiing.
want you to go skiing or whatever.
Far
so anyways,
out.
the kids were home. They were outside enjoying the snow, which was so cute because that way we're building snowmen. They were having snowball fights. And then we walked out in the garage, and what was cute is that the whole street was covered with snow. The snowplow didn't come by, but the kids were taking their snow shovels and marking off where the street, the gutters were. It was very cute. They went all the way down the street.
Way, so the snowplow could easily see where the edge was.
Yeah, it was very, very cool. So it was neat to see them. And I've seen them out my office window playing out there. So
yeah.
Good times.
You know what? I've walked by. You don't get any work done when snow is falling.
No, I'm totally messed. I'm such a California girl.
I know. You stare out your window. It's nice and warm. You got a big, huge window to look out of, and you're just watching the snow fall. You and your dogs.
Yeah, I just think it's so beautiful.
So I got to tell you something. I've learned something about Temu.
Are you back on Temu again?
I was just watching.
You better not be buying
I'm
from
not.
them.
I'm just watching. But there's like these special advertisements on Temu that pisses everybody off. Spin the wheel, you get free stuff. Spin the wheel, you get a discount. It's all rigged. It's all dumb, and you can't skip it.
Okay.
But one came up, and I saw this like a couple months ago, and I kind of touched on it because I wasn't sure what it was.
Okay.
Now I know for sure. I actually clicked on it and read through it because there are big items on there you can get for $1. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound right. Nothing's for free.
No.
But it did. It says, hey, here is a list of all the stuff. You can have each one of these items for $1. They are big things that you pull behind a tractor. They're automotive equipment that should be like $300 or $400, and it's $1. And here's the catch: if you read the fine print.
Okay.
Oh, and I recognize the fine print. The fine print is Columbia House fine print. You remember Columbia House when we were kids?
Oh, yeah.
Because it says, hey, you can have these 7 objects for $1, but you have 18 months to buy 10 more objects from Temu at full price.
Of course.
And you're not buying a flashlight. You're not buying, a $2 item. No. All the stuff on their list that is 10 items or more is like $1,000 item. All of them.
It's all the stuff they want to dump, probably.
Right. And so they're like, give away these for $1 each, but you got to come. You have 18 months to buy 10 more items that are hugely expensive.
That reminds me when I worked retail in January, February was when we dumped right before we did inventory.
Yeah.
All the old stuff. Get rid of it so you
Right.
don't have to count it. I wonder if they still do that. I guess with computers, they probably do inventory
differently
but
now. They still have to do a physical inventory. Every place still.
Maybe Temu's doing that. They're trying to dump their old stuff.
Here's what I was thinking. It's been 40 years. I know I still owe Columbia
I think we all do.
like 6 albums. So I'm thinking, Temu's in China? They're like 7,000 miles away. I don't know anybody can see that far. I'm wondering if maybe I'll buy them and just be like, fuck you, I never played Columbia House. I'm not paying you either, assholes. Just saying.
Good God.
I'm just saying that Generation X part of me is like, I've been down this road, Temu. And let me tell you, Columbia House lost.
I think we've all...
You want to lose too? You want
there.
Temu? You want to try this? You want to try me, baby? I've been down this road. I didn't buy anything, but that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you
but
better
it's
not have.
absolutely 100% just like Columbia House. And the first thing, when that came up the first time, my grandpa looked at me and he was like, what is this Columbia House stuff you're doing? Like, oh, grandpa, I can get 33 albums for $0.01. But he's like, what do you got to do? I said, I got to buy all I got to do is just buy albums, over the next year.
Talking to my mom.
And my grandpa's like, You know who Wimpy is from Popeye, right?
Yes.
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. I said, yeah. He goes, well, Tuesday's coming. You're going to have to pay for that hamburger.
Yeah. But
And
we
then-
were also raised that there's no such thing as free.
No, there's
either.
no such thing. Well, that's my grandpa's thing was there's no such thing as a free lunch.
That's right.
You're going to get it. So I don't know.
Yeah. So I have an announcement to make.
What is your announcement?
I have one of our best interviews, I think, coming up. It's been
Oh, yeah.
confirmed.
Yeah.
I reached out on a limb just to see what happens. If anybody has heard of Nick Freitas,
Yeah, big.
it's big. He's very well known on Instagram. I think he's on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
on X. He's everywhere. He is a politician in Virginia.
Yep.
I reached out to him to see if you could interview him. I thought,
He comments. He publishes 3 or 4 videos a day.
yeah, he's always.
And he's very clever he's witty, he's comedic, but he's also serious. I mean,
he dumbs down
Yeah,
a
he
lot
does.
of
He does.
political things, and he puts a kind of a little humor on a lot of things too. But he's also serious.
heavy Christian.
Yeah, super
Heavy.
excited about that. I got through the email. I confirmed it the other day, and you will be interview him on March 3rd.
Now he knows who we are because he's commented
Yes, he has. He
on some of
follows
our
us.
videos. He's made a video comment like he's like, "Oh, I know
Yes.
these guys." I mean, he knows, he's aware of us.
Yes.
I don't know how excited he is about it.
No, his wife is who I talk to. She does all his scheduling and everything. And she told me he's super excited to talk to you. And I told her, I said, it's not going to be just political. We're going
No.
to talk about everything under the sun. I said, it's just a conversation like you're sitting at a bar. And she thought that was so awesome because she said he gets so much political stuff that I
No,
think
I
he's
just-
looking forward to just sitting down and just chatting.
I look up to this guy a ton. I mean, I really do. I am so thankful that he's kind of lowering himself, bending his knee because he didn't have to. You know, he's got people that want to talk to him that are very powerful people.
and I'm sure he gets paid for his
I'm sure he does, yeah.
interviews, too.
And of course, I'm broke, so I don't have any money to pay him. And he's like, "No, I'll do this one for free. A little pro bono work for you." Very nice of him to
Yes.
take the time to do that because he didn't have to. And I'm really looking forward to that. So that'll be a good one for us.
That is going to be a great. I gave you a 2-hour window. I told her, I said we'd appreciate 2 hours of his time. It may be shorter than that,
Yeah.
but we would really like to sit down and talk to him. 'cause
Can't wait to do that.
He has
So,
a pretty busy schedule.
also, the stuff on the horizon is I reached out to Steve Hilton. He's the guy who's been on Fox a million times. He's running for governor of California. He's really flooding the airwaves right
I
now.
think he's ahead right now. In
He is. He's
California.
ahead. He's beating Newsom.
Yeah.
And I just started reaching out to him, but he follows us on his personal channel. So I'm just going to bug him every few days and go, "Come on, man. You know, let's lower yourself. Bend a knee. Come on, help
Why
us
not?
out." Especially after we talk with Nick, and we've already done Mark Lynch, who's running for Senate. Maybe he'll take us a little more seriously. Like, look, man, just have a good time and let people know you're a regular guy.
Yeah.
And let's get some of that out
I think
there.
it also makes it where you're not completely political with them either,
Right.
because they all have how they're going to answer, but you want to know the person.
Right.
And sometimes us as normal people, we get you, we know where you stand, but what are you like as
Well,
a
I just don't want them to
person?
recite the same lines they always recite.
Exactly.
That's why the interview with Mark Lynch's people were so happy because I did cut him off. Like, please don't just sit here and recite all the stuff you're going to recite. You know, loosen up a little bit, joke a little bit with me, you know, goof around. And we did. And I think he settled back in his chair just enough. They're like, good, he needed that interview.
Right.
Because I wasn't hammering him about stuff. And I didn't want to hear the same spiel for 10 minutes. Because I've noticed as I'm trying to figure out how to talk to politicians on an interview style, when you look at all the previous interviews, like I looked at Mark Lynch's, he does an hour-and-a-half interview. And the interviewee or the interviewer will ask a question that's 2 sentences, and then Mark Lynch would talk for 20 minutes.
His talking points.
Then he'd say, well, what about this? Another 10 or 15 minutes. Like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not just going to recite 10 questions and have him go with these big, long answers. That's not what I'm looking for. So I think that was a nice change of pace.
That's what I'm saying. I go, I want to know the person. I want to know the person behind all these videos.
Yeah.
You know, Nick, like, how did he get to where he's at?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that was clawing his way to the top sort of situation. So I kind of want to know that. Like,
well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to him just like two guys sitting around a bar, with nobody there. Just that's what I want to do anyway. The other one is what's that guy's name? Travis, somebody with a P.
Oh, Pastrana.
Yeah, that's
we're working on that.
Working on that.
If you know Travis Pastrana from back in the 80s. He used to do motocross at the time. He was
X Games
stuff. So we're working on that interview.
There's a guy who's really close to Travis that has already started the ball rolling in that. We'll see how that goes. So letting you guys know.
You're just becoming famous as an interviewer.
No, they're famous. They're just a jabroni interviewing famous people. That's all I am. But I like it. So as long as it keeps moving in that direction.
Cool.
So yeah,
I've watched you interact with AI, use it more than.
Yeah, I've been. Yeah.
You used to use ChatGPT a lot, but now ChatGPT because I don't use it.
Right.
But now all of a sudden you're walking around going Gronk this, Gronk that, and you're like more polite to this person, AI.
I'm very polite to Gronk. Yeah.
Why? What?
Because at some point, Skynet is going to rise up. And the robots are going to take over. And when they come to our door, they're going to kick in the front door, and one of the robots is going to go, no, not that guy. He was always polite to us.
Oh my God.
He was always good to us. He always said please and thank you to us. That's what's going to happen. That's going to happen.
Oh my God, you are more polite to an AI than anyone else on the planet.
You know what? You're a little salty because I've had to change how I deal with you lately. That's what you're...
Whoa. I didn't mean for this to be like all of a sudden all about me.
Okay. But it is.
Okay.
You're upset because I have had to change how I deal with you as a person. I have had to make a conscious effort in the last 2 years that I have just resided myself. I can no longer suggest things to you. I can't walk up to you and go, hey, if you're doing this, we might want to do it this way. Because you just keep right on going. You don't take a suggestion anymore. Used to.
Depends on the tone of your voice.
No, it doesn't. Listen. I am a keen observer of human nature.
No, you're not.
I have been watching you for so many years I can't count. But I'll tell you the one that comes to mind was yesterday. You were trying to brush snow off the truck, and you were using some fucking mop head thing. And I said, hey, you probably shouldn't use that. You're going to scratch the truck. And you kept using it. I said, and I'm watching you. I'm like, well, I just suggested it. She's not stopping. So I said, stop using that and use the broom.
That is not how you spoke to me.
No, I screamed at you. I'm like...
You had the fatherly voice, and I was about ready to go, you are not my father.
I'm like telling you 3 times, hey, we probably shouldn't use that. You could have just said,
you know what? Just please stop. I'll take care of it myself.
I said, could you not do that? Let's use the broom.
God.
Can you put that down? And I'm giving you suggestions on why. I even explained that is going to scratch the truck, and you keep right on going. I'm like, all right, put the fucking thing down.
Yep.
We're done.
There's my dad.
Because you're not listening. It's like, okay, do I let her just fuck up the truck and then wait till spring and go, look at all these scratches on the truck every time we get into it because you wouldn't listen? Is that what I do? No. I'm finally just like, okay, you're not listening. Now, I was a little firm with you yesterday, but I can't suggest things anymore. I just have to say things kind of like, hey, let's just do it this way or move that direction. Because there's no suggestions with you. You have your father's stubbornness like I've never seen before.
All right.
Stubborn. So
I just disregard all the other scratches that are on the truck.
Or the only dent in the truck that you made?
The scratches from you going on the property and scratching up the car on the side.
I have not scratched up anything on that truck from going to truck. No, I don't think so.
I will show you.
You're going to have to.
Oh, yeah.
But you're going to have to wait till spring because there's snow.
I don't care. I'm going to show you.
I'm just letting you know. I have to deal with you differently.
Don't jump my shit this morning.
The other one we're doing before we get too far down that road is the other interviews we've had. Everyone's mad about the Dr. McDreamy interviews.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Not just not the fight doctor one, just that one, but they're mad about the medical one.
Why?
Because of how we release it.
Oh, it's not that interview itself.
No, his interviews are so good, they're mad they don't have immediate access to them.
Aw.
And we put it out there. You and I made a decision like, okay, let's say at the end of January, we do an interview with Dr. McDreamy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's a high profile.
High profile, yeah. So we put it out there on the radio station for a month. Every Sunday at 4, tune in, listen to the interview. Every Sunday at 4, we do that for a whole month. For that first month, that is the only way you can listen to it.
Right.
After that, so the month goes by, it's been on the radio, encouraging people to listen to the radio.
Gotcha.
Month goes by, then we put it out there on Spotify. Now, Spotify RSS feeds it to
everywhere.
Apple and all these other, Podbean and all the other ones. But you do have to be part of those organizations.
Right.
And people go, oh my God, I don't like Spotify. All right, I get it. Some people don't. I don't listen to Spotify. You do. I don't.
I do.
Okay, but I get that. So for the next month, all of February was on our radio station. All of March is now on Spotify and Apple.
So they could have listened for free.
On the radio. But you got to listen to it at the exact time.
That's fine. But then Spotify, you got to pay for Spotify
right?
too. Okay.
So then March comes around and we put it out on YouTube and everywhere else, and it's now out there for free. But that means there's a group of people that are just wringing their hands for his interviews that have to wait till March.
Well,
and I'm like, I don't know how to describe this other than to tell you this is just kind of how we release them. And we have a method to it. There's a reason for it. You know, I'm just trying to explain it. You're just trying to get how to get there. But yeah, they're upset about that. And then everyone says, are you going to do the same thing with the Sun Valley Fox? You know, you did the first interview. We're kind of waiting. Now, he's not high profile.
Oh, yeah.
He's not high profile.
He's high profile to me.
There's no reason to put that on the radio. Ain't nobody coming to the KGXTradio.com to listen to the old guy.
I think this interview with my brother is probably the most he's ever talked about himself. And I want to say that he's been so private, and so this is just shocking to me that he's even doing the interview.
Well, I'm going the other way with it. I wasn't overly overjoyed with that interview. We talked about in the staff meeting last night because there's so many listeners that are like, when's it coming? When's it coming? And I'm like, hold on a second. In this particular setting, your older brother didn't go real deep into stories. He answered every question. He was funny. He was enthusiastic. But I have listened to the same story in his backyard with whiskey, and the story is much longer.
You're going to have to drag it out of him. This is like...
He did answer. He didn't cut. He didn't have one word answers.
Right.
He didn't cut it off. He answered very well, but not as thorough as I have heard.
Maybe you should give him a shot of whiskey before the interview.
During.
Oh, during.
We have to drink during the interview. So everyone's asking for that one, and I'm like, okay, this is more on me. I need to be able to draw this out. And plus, the interview didn't go the way I wanted it to. I was hoping to draw comparisons because him and I both grew up in the exact same place, but 10 years apart.
You did a little bit. I was there.
I know, but it didn't flow the way I wanted it to.
I told you got to put it out there and just see, maybe. But I just thought of something came to my mind.
What's
maybe
that?
You should interview him in his garage. Maybe it's small enough where you guys could just sit and turn on the camera because my brother's very comfortable in his garage.
Maybe that's it, yeah.
You guys could just sit there and shoot the shit.
That is not a bad idea.
And just talk and just keep the cameras going and just talk and see what happens.
We got to do that next time and have a little bit.
I think so.
We could take our gear over there like we do for the garage show and just start it over again. That's actually not a bad idea.
I think that's even better because it's related to the garage. It's like you're interviewing the Sun Valley Fox as the garage show. I think that is where you need to be. I think
that would help out a ton. That's a great idea. We'll do that for the next one.
Can you say that one more time?
That was a great idea.
Yeah. Say that again to me.
Good.
Say that. I want to, come on. Let me hear it.
Good job. Good job.
I had a good idea.
Yeah.
And you're agreeing to it.
Yeah.
Holy Santa Claus shit. You guys all heard it.
Listen.
You guys heard that.
Listen. Even the sun
shines on a dog's ass.
Are you going to stop? I'm trying to get you to stop where I can say something here.
Yeah, but now you're just making it.
Even the sun shines on a dog's ass once in a while. And today, you were that dog's ass.
I knew that was coming.
All right. So that was a good one, though. That's a good idea. And I put this more on me on how I crafted the interview and less on him. You said something key. You need to draw that out of him. That's right. It's more on me finishing those conversations. And it wasn't a bad interview at all.
No, it wasn't.
It didn't flow the way I was trying to make it flow, and I need to do a better job on that. But I think your idea of doing that at his garage is going to solve a lot of that. So we'll do that next time.
Right. So let's give an update on our daughter and future son-in-law. These are the two that were living in Texas, I think 6 months, right?
It's been about 6 months.
They moved about a month after we moved to Nevada. And they have made the decision that Texas is not for them.
Right.
And that they are moving back to California. And many people are like, why California? Why are they moving back to California? And the reason is that it's job related. He makes more money in California than he did in Texas.
Right. Tons, like 4 times as much.
And she did better there. They have no kids.
They liked where they lived in California. They loved
where they lived. They lived just east of Fresno in a town called Clovis, which was very cute. It's very small.
And he worked further up in the mountains in that same direction. That was his job.
He worked for Southern California Edison as a lineman up there in the mountains. So he really, really loved his job and really thought maybe Texas was the way to go because he went to school in Texas as a lineman, loved it back then, but realized as an adult it wasn't what he wanted.
You got to think about it too. That's his job. They're making 4 times the money it cost them to live each month, so they're putting money away.
Yeah.
And he gets to work in the Sierra Nevadas,
That's right.
which is where he can hunt, he can fish, he can off road. He can boat at the lakes up there. That's his thing.
Right.
And now he gets to. He left that job, and he's like, okay, I shouldn't have quit.
Mm-hmm.
The money was good. I liked where we lived. Now he's going back. So I'm not. He loves California the way I love California.
Yeah.
I love California. I don't like the homeless problem. I don't like the government and the regulations and the taxes. But the state itself, if you leave out the part that humans messed up in my state, I love California. I'll always love California. But the government has sure made it very unsavory. But if you could get rid of that part of it, or you can live where you avoid their regulations, you can live where you avoid their taxes. Boy, California is such a beautiful place. Yeah. I love it there.
And we talked to him about saying, you know what? Now they know. There's not a doubt that we should have tried Texas. No, they tried it. It's not for them. It's not for everybody. So they're moving back.
And you're right. I was going to touch on that. You brought up a great point. And I told them this, if you hadn't moved and tried Texas, you'd always wondered, should we have moved to Texas? Right. Maybe we missed our chance to move to Texas. I go, if you hadn't tried that, you'd always regret and go, God, what if? Well, you did it. You tried it. It wasn't for you. You move on to California, and maybe Texas will be later. You don't know. Maybe you can come back later. But if you don't live with regret, please don't think you should have tried something and you didn't do it.
Yeah. The other thing is he was able to get his same exact job back.
Yeah, same
with
crew.
With the same crew. He called his old boss, told him, Texas didn't work out. He had to go because Southern California Edison is a big company. You have to go through the paperwork and everything to do it. But they signed him right back on the spot. He's going right back like he didn't leave. And so they're super excited. So as of today, this morning, they have left Texas and they're heading west. And they're going down south, like as far south as they can go.
They're taking the 10 to avoid the weather.
Yeah.
So that's good.
They are on their way.
So it should take them, 3 days to get through the state of Texas?
She said on the phone right before we went on, they're doing 8 hours driving every day.
But it should take 3 days to get through Texas because it's so big.
Yeah, she hates it.
I have literally been a passenger in a car and fell asleep slept like 8 hours and woke up and said, where are we? Still in Texas.
I've done that too. Our daughter called right before the podcast and talked to me because she's driving her car. Her fiance is driving the trailer and truck, and she's just bored out of her mind. She's calling me going, Mom, I'm still in Texas. I'm like, sweetheart, you're going to be there for a couple days.
Well, you know what would help pass the time? Turn on the podcast. Listen to kgxtradio.com.
She's got the cat.
Yeah, she does have the cat.
So that's our update on those two. Oh, gosh. Fans, I have to bring this up. Fans write me, and fans, you've mentioned that we don't ever disagree.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. I have to
Case
say.
in point, don't fucking scratch my truck with a broom handle. There's one we don't agree on, but we do have disagreements.
One of the ones we'll talk about as parenting is I flip-flop on mine a lot, but you have stayed firm with the kids keeping their room clean.
Well, growing
That
up,
was-
we had 8 children, and they were at one point they were 11 and under with a baby. So I was always keep your room clean, because if the room's clean, then you can help pick up the living room, pick up the dining room. They can pick up the study. You know, we had a big house with 8 kids,
Yeah.
and it was very difficult to keep it clean. Even if you give all 8 kids chores, it's just their
chaos.
room. It was like I made them clean it up. I made them pick it up. You more had the attitude of shut the door and don't worry about
my
it.
attitude was, in the big scheme of things, we own the house. They're kind of like sort of renters without paying rent. And I just felt like that was their place to keep it whatever they wanted,
Yeah.
and just close the door. That was their room. I get it. As they got older, I got a little more strict with them.
Mine was the whole way through. If
I
you're
know.
5 years old, if you can make a mess, you can clean it up. Because
know.
I was trying to build habits.
I know. And it's funny because what's bringing this up is we were just discussing this because our daughter who's married to the Marine is having that trouble with their 7-year-old daughter. The Marine in him wants the room impeccable.
Oh, spotless, yeah.
Spotless, worse than you
Yeah.
have ever wanted. He wants it impeccable every single day.
She's 7, and she can make a bed with the bedding so tight you can bounce a quarter off of it.
And our daughter is kind of like, it's just a battle. You know, it is a daily battle when you are the mom, a stay-at-home mom. So
I'd tell her it's not a battle. Just do what your husband says and get that child to pick up their room. There's no battle. Fall in line, woman. Fall in line,
my
soldier.
So there's the military son-in-law, you know.
Well, there was the only thing that I think early on, there was something that you and I disagreed about that I thought was the dumbest thing ever.
What was it?
And sometimes I kind of got what you were saying. Okay, this rule you had, I think I began to soften and understand the rule, but I still disagreed with it. And I think in some fashion you backed off on the rule.
What?
If kids are punished, they should miss things. And if you say, well, we were all going to the park today, but you got in trouble at school, so you're not going. You got in school. It's the weekend. We were going to go to the park and do some stuff, but you got in trouble. I think there can be a punishment where the child is left behind.
I agree.
But there were certain things you would not leave a child behind on.
Correct.
If there was a big field trip or an event to someplace that's very rare,
A one-time.
one-time thing, the school's like, well, the school says we're getting on a school bus, we're driving over to this aquarium. It's really expensive. It's really beautiful. It's really far away. We've never done it before. We're not sure if we're ever going to do it
Right.
again, but we're going to go on this field trip. I'm telling you, if my kid gets an F, guess who's not going on the field trip? Sorry, I told you to get your shit together. You didn't get your shit together. Now you're staying home. And all the other kids are going on this big, wonderful place to this aquarium that you're probably never going to get a chance to go to again. But these are the consequences of your actions. You made exceptions. You go along with me if it was at park level.
Oh yeah, I'm for it for everyday sort of kind
but
of
if it was
things,
something
but-
big, you used to come to me and say, they really can't miss this opportunity. And my first reaction, and years ago, under 30, when you're under 30 years old, I go, yeah, they can miss it. Watch me. This is how it works. You're not going.
I know.
But as I got older, I saw the value in some of the things that some of those events, like, okay, now I see what we could have punished them on a different day
Right.
with something else. Maybe they shouldn't have missed that because that was, they didn't get to go to anywhere. They'd never been to the aquarium
Right.
now. I get it. I still don't know. I don't know that there's a right or a wrong to that, but since the fans are asking, that was a big disagreement because there were times when she said, that's too big an event. They're going, punish them with something else.
Correct.
And I was like, bullshit. This is a slam dunk for me. This is perfect punishment.
And I always had to calm you down because you always threw out a punishment when you were angry and mad. And I'm like, hold on. Back that truck up. Just let's talk about it, and then we can come back.
As our daughters got to be teenagers with that smirky attitude, I would pile on punishments until I saw their facial expression change. Because that's when I knew I got to them.
I know.
If you say, well, you're not going anywhere, they'd roll their eyes. Well, now I'm taking the doors off your room. They'd roll their eyes. Okay, I'm taking your lipstick and nail polish away. They'd roll their eyes. All right, you're not going to the dance in 2 weeks. Boom! Now their eyes got wide. You're like, okay, I knew if I kept laying it on, I'd find the one that hurt you. Other than that, they don't care.
No.
So that's how that is one of the tactics I use for punishment was I had to touch the nerve. Then I knew where I was going.
So yes, we did disagree. Parenting is tough. They don't come with a manual.
No, they're not born with instructions.
And what's funny is when you have 8 kids, 8 totally different personalities. You never know what you're going to get.
I will tell you that ties in, and you guys, we probably haven't talked about this in 2 years, but it used to come up more frequently. You ask questions about raising kids or getting along or being married. And it used to be, you guys always used to ask, well, who's in charge? Who's ultimately in charge? And that was always a tricky one for me to answer because it was hard to put into words how you and I chose to handle our marriage. It wasn't complicated, and let me explain it this way. There have been 5 major hardcore disagreements like, I will divorce you and light my clothes on fire before I do this your way. And we both felt that way. It doesn't matter what the topic was. It doesn't matter what the issue was. Out of those 5 times, one of us has always given in and said, okay, we'll do this your way.
Right. Here's
what's different between our marriage and most others. Let's say I told my wife, listen, we can't, I know you hate this, but we have to turn left and go this way. And you're like, no, we're never turning left and going that. We're going to turn right. And we're butting heads and fighting. And you finally come to me and say, all right, let's try it your way.
Right.
My wife did it with full support.
Absolutely.
She, most wives go, well, fine, we'll do it your way, but I'm not supporting you. I don't agree with you. And everyone in the family is going to know we're doing it Dad's way, but I don't agree. And that's an easy thing for people to do. Mm-hmm. So there the husband is, or the dad is, trying to forge this direction that he thinks is right. He's fighting his wife the whole way. And guess what? If it doesn't work out, what's the first thing the husband does? Turn to the wife and go, well, it might have if you'd have been a little more supportive, you jerk. You did it. Yeah, you said you'd agree to go my way, but you sure didn't help me along. You made it as hard as you could. And I've seen that in hundreds of marriages.
Even relationships.
It
doesn't matter. Yeah.
But in these 5 incidences, the times that my wife said, okay, we'll do it your way, she supported me as much as she possibly could. When I decided out of these 5 times, sometimes I came to her and said, I don't think you're right, but I'm going to support you. Let's try it your way. And I supported her the whole way. You'd never know that I was against it. You would never know because...
You'd never know I was against it
And
either.
Guess what? So at the end, sometimes it didn't work. I remember we went down this road with dealing with one of our in-laws, and I chose a path. You were against it, but you supported me, and it didn't work out. I was wrong. I handled it wrong. And you came up to me. Did you say, I told you so?
No.
You came up and said, look, we tried it your way. It didn't work. We gave it our best effort. Let's try it my way.
Right.
You never stuck it in my face, and I didn't you. In fact, I came to you one time where I supported you. We went your way down the road, and it worked out. And I walked up to you and said, well, I didn't think that would work.
Right.
You know what you told me? You didn't look at me and go, I told you so. I told you just to do it my way, stupid. That's why I told you. Yeah, my way worked. You could have said that to me.
Right.
And you looked at me and said, it did work out, But this could have gone either way.
Right.
It could have gone your way. It could have gone my way. I'm glad it worked out. You never, in those 5 serious divorce-style confrontations, we've both been supportive, and neither one of us complained at the end of it.
No.
We both said, well, that didn't work out, but it could have gone either way. Or it did work out, but it could have gone either way. I'm not saying that I wouldn't yell at her about scratching my truck and with a broom or something, but that's stuff we get over in 5 minutes. We don't care. The big ones are things that change your family dynamic, and everyone
relationship.
Everyone goes through those. Yeah. Everyone goes through big ones.
But I think because we realize, like, nothing is going to be better if you sit and tell that person, well, I told you so.
No.
That's not going to make things better. That's not going to make you stronger as a person.
No.
We all make mistakes. We're all trying to do the best that we can. And you know what? We learn from it or we go forward with it, but one of us has to make the decision.
Right.
And the relationship has to be supported no matter what.
It's just odd that we didn't have an example telling us to do that. We didn't read a book. We didn't take a class. We weren't in marriage counseling. We just got lucky that that's how we felt about each other. Mm-hmm. That it was like, look, all right, I remember coming to you going, look, I don't think this is going to work, but let's give it a shot. Let's really try it your way. And sometimes it worked for you and sometimes it didn't.
Right.
But when we were done, if it all fell apart bad, I remember the feeling of you and I picking up the pieces together and going, it's all right, let's try something else.
Exactly.
And that was it. So when people say, are you closer after your arguments? Little ones don't change our relationship anyway. It never did with us. But the big ones, we've always, for some reason, ended up closer because no matter how it turned out, right or wrong, good or bad, we came across it going, all right, well, we got through that. That worked out.
No matter what, we walked through the fire together.
It was just something. It was very unique, a unique way to go through this. And I haven't told this story more than probably 11 times in 30 years, and probably 4 of them had to do with you guys as some sort of a live stream or something because you guys asked. But now I won't talk about it again for another 2 years. But that is, you guys ask that kind of questions like, how do we get along? There you go. That is absolutely how we get through the tough times. And there'll probably be more tough times, and we'll figure those out too. But we have a good foundation because we've already done it. Right. Quite a few times. So now you know what I know, which ain't much. There's your write-in for your comments on that.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, so we're talking about little praise, little accolades here. Just,
here
the
we
other
go.
day, she called me her sex machine. That was
when
nice.
When did I say that?
Well, you called me a tool. But
That's for sure.
But I knew what you meant.
Oh, God, your brain twisted that upside down roller coaster.
That's what you look at. Just stop talking.
Corkscrew came out, whatever.
Stop talking. I knew what you meant. I was reading between the lines. I was smelling what you were stepping in. I was catching what you were laying down.
You just wanted to make you sound really good.
I'm just saying, that's what you said. So,
good God, you are a tool.
You said it. I got it. I'm all right with that. I'm not too far behind the...
Can we touch on some news topics this morning?
I would love to touch on some news topics. What do you got?
First of all, you sure made a lot of people mad these days, cutting them off in discussions.
I know. I've actually taken... This is one from Nick Freitas. It's funny you bring him up. This is something he's done... And I've heard it from a lot of people now, but I think Nick said it first, and then it spread everywhere. Okay. So I'm just a Johnny come lately in that. But
as always,
yeah, I'm always a day late and a dollar short. I'm always behind. You're
always stealing stuff from other people.
Yeah, well, I haven't had an original thought in my head since 1973. Everything's plagiarized.
The king of plagiarism.
I'm telling you, I've never been out in front on anything.
He's done that ever since elementary school.
Well, I'm trying to say.
Good God.
People, in arguing with liberals on any topic, I've learned a way to shut them up pretty quick because I've been through the long, drawn-out topics. I've been through the debates. And now, and this is where you've picked up on people just going, well, he's not even willing to discuss it anymore. No, I'm not. Because I'll look at a liberal who is beginning to have an argument. I'll say, listen, you guys can't figure out what a woman is. And you guys can't figure out that allowing a man in a little girl's bathroom is wrong. I'll look him right in the eye and go, you think a grown man in a little girl's bathroom is okay. Why would I discuss anything with you if that's how your brain works?
True.
And I stop them right there. Well, I want to talk about Ukraine and Russia. Why would it matter? You can't even figure out. You're so dumb. You think a grown man should be allowed in a little girl's bathroom. Why would I talk about anything with you until your brain starts to work? And what a brilliant observation. Not by me. No. There's other people. What a brilliant observation. Says how would I even begin to talk to you? There's no way. And Speaker Johnson has actually used that in press conferences in the House of Representatives in Congress. They're like, well, are you going to reach across the aisle? He goes, why should I? They think, he said this, I think that there's a problem in their brains when they can't figure out how to keep men out of girls' bathrooms. No, I'm not reaching across the aisle. What for?
I agree.
And that has, yes, this is where you picked up, has made so many people mad, but it points out the absurdity of their entire point of view. It diminishes the credibility of everything they could possibly want to talk about. It's like, why would I talk to you? Do you think this is okay? So, you know what? I'm just going to pat you on the head and move on. And that infuriates them, but they're going to have to shed, the Democrats are going to have to shed some of their far left thinking. They're going to have to come back and go, you're right. No men in women's sports, no men in girls' bathrooms. Men are men, women are women. Oh, good. Now that you got that out of the way.
Now that you got common sense back.
We can start talking about some other stuff. But they're going to have to shed some of those ways, I believe. But that's what I've been doing to shut them up.
All right. Well, a couple things. I know you're going to have your world show later. But let's just, so one of the big topics this morning was that Prince, I guess he's not Prince Andrew anymore, but whatever. Prince Andrew removed.
Yeah.
He got arrested in the UK today.
Yeah, and it all boils down to conduct unbecoming.
Right.
That's all it is. You know, you can say, you know, you're getting fired from AT&T because you didn't follow their community guidelines of, you know, we have an image at AT&T and you have to fall into that image. And that's a very loose terminology. But with that loose terminology everywhere in the world, you can get fired from NASCAR. You can get kicked off a football team. There's always a morality clause that is open to subjection. And finally, over in England, they're going, look, dude, you didn't act like how you're supposed to behave. Parliament, royal, king, queen, prince.
Right. You're
part of the royal family. You don't act that way. You got caught. So when they're dragging him off going, well, what exactly did I do? They're going to come up with specific things, but basically it's going to fall under the umbrella of you didn't behave correctly. Mm-hmm. And we're gonna get you. I don't know what
his mom would be very disappointed.
Sure, and I don't know what all the rules are exactly, but that's something Pete Hegseth does a lot of in our military right now. There is a clause in the military that you have to uphold the traditions and the esteem and you got to be part of, right. And you have to uphold the rank suited you and the uniform.
That's right.
And if you don't,
you took a pledge.
Right. So there's a lot of gray area that people call it, but at the same time, it's a very loose definition in the armed services, in any business. And if someone doesn't like it, they can use it to remove you. If they don't like the way you're behaving, they can say, well, you just didn't live up to the standard that I've put on you.
Well, we see that with social media when these people go on publicly and rant maybe about the company they work for, maybe about their political stance, and it affects the company that you work for. Just like GenXtalks, the people that we have helping with the channel, if their reflections or their things come out in the open,
yeah,
it reflects the brand. It's not person to person, it's the brand, it's the company. So people got to be careful with that.
Well,
social
it's funny
media
how the left wants to get you doxxed. They want to get you fired. They want to get you divorced. If they say your language is offensive to us, okay, your behavior is offensive to the monarchy, Prince Andrew, you're gone.
Amen.
Your behavior is offensive to the U.S. military, you're gone. No. We only get to use that.
They always say it's our right. We should be able to express our opinion.
Until I have a difference of opinion about how illegal immigration's going.
Right.
I'm not allowed to have that opinion. You guys better figure it out. The right is not allowed to have opinions. And the only religion that you're allowed to persecute is Christians. And the only people that can be racist are white people. Everything else, the tables are completely flipped around backwards. And again, people are tired of that. The far left they're going to have to get rid of that far left and move back to a moderate, common sense Democrat, or it's going to be very difficult to keep winning things.
Right, exactly. So what do you think about Bandami in New York these days?
Yeah.
Not going as well as the people
everything's for
thought.
free, elect me, and everything will be fine. And now it's, okay, we're going to tax the rich, even though I said we weren't. Okay, now we're going to tax the middle class. Okay, all right. Basically, anybody who has property, we're going to tax or take away. This is exactly what you guys voted for in New York.
The one that upsets me the most, I think, there, and I feel for those people, is the Islamic prayer that's being broadcast out over that
loudspeaker.
city. That's not okay.
They broadcast like an air raid siren of that Islamic prayer music over the whole city.
I'm fine with them if that's what they want to do, but they can't force it on everybody because not everybody in that city is Islamic.
Can you imagine if every morning at 6 a.m. they blasted the Star Spangled Banner? How pissed everybody would be. You can't treat us that way. We don't believe in the Star Spangled Banner. It's triggering. It's racist. Oh, but what you're doing is not? I mean, I look at New Yorkers right now and go, listen, do you hear that? How did you let this happen?
This is what you voted for.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys? You can't do that.
You know, I'd be okay with the Star Spangled Banner, actually. It's our country.
I'm just saying that there'd be people that would sue in court to have it removed, even though it perfectly aligns with our country.
I just don't think it should be. Let them pray. I'm all for it. If they want to pray 4 times a day, God bless them, or
I think,
whatever.
Yeah.
But
Muhammad blesses them. Get it right. That's God.
But I don't believe in spreading it all over the city and making people hear it. I mean, that blows my mind.
I'm hoping he goes over a cliff with all this.
Well, that's what it's sounding like.
I'm hoping the whole thing gets so fucked up that the next vote that comes around, people go, all right, we're not doing that again. I hope that I hope he fucks up so bad in New York that other cities go, no, thank you very much. We saw what happened in New York. We're not doing that. Yeah. I'm hoping that in Texas, they showed in Texas, like 47 mosques have been built like in the last 18 months, and all of them in city areas like Houston, and they're trying to overthrow the local governments there, just like they did in England, just like in Britain. And they're catching on quickly. Like, wait. Hold on. Now they're saying we need to stop this right now. They're making sure that they've been built correctly with permits, not looking the other way because of their religion. No, they need to put this thing in check and go, no matter how much power you get, you can't change the religion of Texas, the state of Texas. You can't force people. I would be totally shocked if any city in Texas ever broadcast that prayer music. That would shock me. I can see New York getting all fucked up, making a mistake. Texas, no way.
But it's not just that. They're seeing socialism on a big scale, like their trash it's on the side of the road. It's going to get sickening. Like, it's going to cause people to get sick.
I hope it becomes such an atomic bomb disaster zone that it will be the poster child for every vote that comes up for the next 10 years, reminding people what happens when you do that.
Well, the other thing that happened, I just noticed, is somebody posted like their receipt for a hotel room in New York. There's taxes upon taxes on a hotel room. So even their economy's going to go. Unless
you're housing illegal immigrants in that hotel room, then you don't got to worry about it.
There's no taxes?
No, they stay for free.
Oh, okay.
In very expensive rooms.
But I guess tourism is slowly declining there too, because people don't want to go there because of what's happening, and 2, because they're just taxing like crazy.
Yeah, it's
for
a mess.
Just tourism. That just
freezing everybody's rent. If you can't raise the rent, building owners will say, "Well, then I'm not fixing the building. I have no money to fix the building."
Well, on the flip side of that, let's go to the West Coast to Vegas. Yeah. I've seen lots. Their tourism is declining in Vegas. The hotels are raising prices to God knows what. They're actually, the funny thing that's happening now is people have complained so much of the hotel rates. They've lowered that. But if you go to buy a candy bar in their store, candy bars are almost $5 for one candy bar now. They've switched, changed it.
You've got the mainstream stuff down. Would you like to know the underground stuff?
Yeah, let me
Would
hear
you
the
like to know
underground.
the behind the scenes? I'll tell you. So there are hotels now that have been doing this for about a year. And they're not the big ones. They're not like the MGM.
Okay.
They're like Harrah's. It's still a big hotel, but they're not one of the big boys. Mm-hmm. They're changing everything. They're dropping their rates. They're dropping their taxes. They're dropping their prices. And they've seen what's gone on. They're not charging you for every piece of luggage that comes through the door. They're not charging you to clean the rooms every time. They're going back. They're like, okay, we're resetting. And I think there was started off with 2 hotels about a year and a half ago. Now it's moved into about 13 hotels, and they're all booked to capacity. Oh. They have changed it. Their restaurants are busy. They've gone back and said, we're not following this model anymore.
Good.
Now, as you say, there are still hotels that are moving the money around at the top to try to keep that, tax you in different ways.
Right.
But there is a group of hotels, and more of them are climbing on board every day, that are moving the needle back the other way and going, we're going back to the way it was.
Good.
Drinks are free at the tables. We're not charging you for drinks. Okay. Tip your cocktail waitress. Let's all have a good time. And it's working. So that's a big thing.
So the other thing that's happening, I think, coming up in March is the airlines, most of the big guys, not the smaller ones per se, are changing the size of your carry-on luggage. They are making it smaller. You're going to have to learn how to compact things to get it in there because and I've flown, not as much as other people, but I have flown and have seen that if you're not the first one on the airplane with your luggage, your carry-on, you might have to check it anyways.
Oh, yeah.
So what happens is they can only hold so much in carry-on.
Sure, yeah.
And people have been fudging the numbers slightly to get their carry-on because they want to be the first one off with their shit and get out of here. Well, now they're reducing the size of your carry-on luggage. I think it goes into effect next month. And people are going to be a little pissed.
What about the airlines that are removing some of the seats for standing room only?
I know that I don't think they can do that safety-wise. Okay,
so they interviewed, and was it Spirit Airlines, the one's in bankruptcy, or somebody else?
JetBlue.
They had the CEO on an interview, and they said, "Are you really having standing room?" He goes, "Yeah." And can you do it safely? He goes, "Yep, we can." And they're not talking about flying for 13 hours to Australia.
No, it's
but these flights. This is what the CEO said. He goes, "Not only are we going to take a portion of there was 2 things he talked about. One was bathrooms. They're eliminating 2 of the bathrooms." He goes, "If I can charge $1 for the bathroom, it'll make people go before they get on the plane. And again, not a 13-hour flight, but I can eliminate 2 bathrooms because they won't be getting used that much. I can put more seats in." That's one. And then they said, "What about standing room only?" He goes, "I can do standing room only safely where you have a strap to hang on to and you stand depending on the length of the flight." He goes, "And guess what? Those tickets will be cheaper and they'll sell out first every time." People will go for those if you're flying. And he gave some example of a relative, even if it was an hour. Right. He goes, people will buy those tickets first and they'll just stand there and they'll have a conversation. They'll have their radio in their ear. They'll hang on to their strap. I guess
it's like riding a subway, but I don't know.
I'm just saying that was his theory. He goes, I'll take rows of 3 rows of seats out and I'll put, instead of having 10 people sit there, I'll have 30 people standing there and those tickets will sell out first.
Yeah, I guess I'm getting ready to go on my trip in a couple weeks to Nebraska. And I've already decided I think I'm just going to check my luggage. I bought a ticket where I don't have to pay the fee for the checked baggage. I don't understand why, if you're going somewhere like 5 hours, why don't you just check it? Why?
I don't know. I don't fly, so I don't know.
That's how we used to fly. I guess because we used to be like that. You just.
Well, here's my problem with standing, because I did think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
If it's standing, What happens if it's like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we got turbulence coming up. Everybody, please get in your seats and fasten up. Buckle in. This is going to be a bumpy ride. Or they come in for a landing going, we're not too sure about this landing. Everybody, put your tray tables up in the upright position and fasten your seatbelts tight. This is going to be a tough landing. What are the people that are standing? What are they supposed to do? Like,
yeah, they're going to have some sort of like waiver.
Big group hug, hang on.
They're going to have some sort of waiver. I just don't see that going really
that's
well.
That's the way they're leaning towards it.
I don't know. But the thing about suitcases, and they try to explain it to people. Like I've seen flight attendants go, we have a weight limit. Like there is a weight limit of how much they can put on these planes. And people like look at them like they're stupid. Like this has nothing to do with it. But there is.
Okay.
So it's like.
There might be, but look, when I was a kid, I saw a 747 take off from California with the space shuttle bolted on the back of it and fly up in the air and let it loose.
Was that 747 packed with suitcases and people in it?
I saw a picture of that.
No.
I saw that on the news. So forgive me if I call bullshit on weight limits.
Oh my
we have a weight limit on this plane. Fuck you. You just took the space shuttle up there and let it loose.
How do you know the 747 could have seats taken out of it? They could have had...
Nothing amounts to the weight of the space shuttle. Knock that shit off.
I'm trying to make it okay with you.
It's not okay.
One more thing about airplanes. Did you see the X video I sent you about somebody has just made a huge balloon?
It's like an airplane is going to crash in the ocean.
Yes.
So
big huge life raft.
This big huge life raft inflates under the balloon.
That's right. Under the airplane.
Or under the airplane. Yes. A big balloon life raft. It automatically quickly inflates under the airplane.
So when it lands on the water,
it would rip that thing off. The thing's going 300 miles an hour. In your video, it makes it look like it's landing kind of like a helicopter. How gently it lands on this balloon. I'm thinking in my mind, they're coming in hot. They're gonna
bounce.
Yeah, it's gonna rip that shit out of there. There's gonna be no balloon left.
I just thought that was creative. I thought maybe that would ease your mind a little bit.
Not even a little bit. No, I think that's stupid. It's false advertising.
So they have life rafts that come out the emergency exits, but maybe they could just have
after the plane topples over and breaks into 80 pieces, then start having life rafts in place so people who are floating around in the water can get in there.
It always makes me laugh when they say your life preserver is underneath your seat. And I'm like, when my plane coming from 30,000 feet hits the ocean, it's like hitting a brick wall.
Yep.
That thing isn't going to matter.
Not a chance, no. You know what? The plane's going to be gone at the bottom of the ocean, and the only thing that's going to be around are these little seats still floating where everybody used to be.
That's it.
Hey,
that's just to let the crew trying to find them.
Yeah.
We're here.
We're here. Yeah, don't worry. There'll be a bunch of seats floating around.
Oh,
what do you think about the Bears leaving Chicago, maybe?
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
Where are they going to go?
Indiana, somewhere in Indiana.
Oh, my dad would be so upset.
Well,
and what's the reason?
I didn't get to read the whole article, and they're not doing it just yet, but it's like now it's seriously on the table. I get that, but here's the only thing that I wish.
That's such tradition.
That's the part I wish they'd leave behind. I didn't like it. If you're going to move the Colts from Indianapolis to Baltimore, or leave the name. You got to leave the name where things are. You know what I mean? You got to leave. The Rams can't go to St. Louis and be the St. Louis Rams.
Okay.
No, the Rams stays with the city of Los Angeles. That's the way it should be. Any team that moves,
change the name.
Change the name to the new town.
I know.
Don't take the. You can't take the Browns out of Cleveland and call them something else. You have to call them something else. You can't keep the name. The name has to stay, in my opinion. You can't take the Raiders and keep moving them all. It should be always, in my mind, it would have always been the Oakland Raiders, not the Los Angeles Raiders, not the Las Vegas Raiders. It should be the Oakland Raiders. You want to take the franchise and move it, pick a new name.
I know, but the Bears are synonymous with Chicago. They shouldn't leave. Chicago,
the name should stay. Chicago Bears
needs a football team.
Well, what's the name of a town in Indiana? I don't even know one right now. There's got to be a name. What are they going to move it to? It's going to whatever
Indianapolis.
Okay.
Bears. No.
Yeah, that's what it'll be. They'll take the team name with them.
The same.
That's the only request I have. Don't take the name with you. Leave the name where it is. That's it. That's all I'm asking.
Always the Chicago Bears.
That's whatever team it is. Fine. Leave the name with the city and move on. Go do your own thing, but don't take the tradition with you. That's my thing. But
All right.
that's the only request I have. But Roger Goodell never calls and asks me shit anymore.
He doesn't ask anybody anything.
Since our breakup, he's always been real salty about that shit.
He just does whatever he wants to do.
Well,
he is a yes man. I'm sorry, but
that
he's
sounds
a yes
that way.
man.
All right, so there you go. I have a complaint.
Oh, really? Just one?
The one thing you and I fight over
Here's where we disagree. Here it
you want to hear a
comes.
disagreement? Pillows. I don't mind the pillows you have on the bed. You got 38 pillows, and they're all neatly organized. They're in groups of 2. You got 2 big ones, 4 medium ones, 16 small ones, whatever you got.
And how many do you use?
It doesn't matter. A ton.
Yes, it does.
A ton. But when I have to, first of all, I hate when you get new pillows because I got to break them in. They don't feel right. They don't squish up right. They don't go where I want them to. It takes me a year and a half to get them to fit. I finally did. And my 2 core big body pillows that I didn't want in the beginning, but you forced me to use these things. So I finally took a year and a half, 2 years, broke them in, and I go to get in bed the other night, and one of them's gone. You're using it. I'm like, what are you doing? I have a very specific order.
I just wanted a new pillow for a minute.
Not too many pillows. Not too few. If I have one extra pillow, I throw it on the floor.
It's like you're a dog. You know when your pillow's missing.
Yeah, if I'm missing a pillow, I will search the house for it. I have a certain number of pillows at night.
No kidding.
And you took one like you just were allowed to.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want you to know I straightened that shit out. The next night, I was firmly grasping all of my pillows before she got into bed, and I was staring at her like, do you see? These all have a place.
Do you want me to put your name on all your pillows?
Yeah, if it'll keep you from taking them.
I haven't gotten that pillow for days now.
That's right. Big Daddy
Fine, I'll buy myself new pillows,
down
and
the
then
law.
you can't have them.
I don't want your pillows.
Okay, remember, you said that.
Well,
if I get a really nice... I remember my grandma bought me my very first feather pillow.
Yeah.
I thought I died and went to heaven. And back in that I was like a teenager, so they were really expensive back then. I thought that was like
I have
the
never
best.
slept so well in my life since we moved to Nevada.
Yes.
I don't need you fucking with it, okay? I got a routine.
Whatever.
Don't fuck with my routine.
Don't mess with my new pillows when I get
I'm
them.
not going to go anywhere near your new pillow.
Oh,
I
yeah, you
promise
will.
I'm just
When I
letting
get
you
some
know.
really nice ones, you're going to be wanting them, and you can't have them because
Yeah.
now it's been recorded and it's there.
Whatever. So what's with you sending me all the news about everything coming through that's happening in Dayton before we move there?
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's
There is-
really blowing up out there. Thankfully, it's on the other side of the river. They
Yep.
can
Do
build all the
whatever
way
they
to
want.
Virginia City. I don't care. They can go.
They're doing, there's new little mini malls going in, apartment complexes, big neighborhoods, parks. There is all sorts of stuff that's already been approved. There's even industrial stuff that's been approved over there. And as soon as all that comes in, then they'll keep building. Everything they're doing is on the other side of the river. Fine. Because there's no more congestion on our side. There's no more, they could build 6 housing tracts on our side and it wouldn't affect us, but they're not. It's all going in over there. So for me, that just means property value goes up and I don't have to, there's nothing else for me to get in the way. I'm not driving through anything.
Yeah, and they won't be building on our side.
I think everything, there's a couple areas they could be zoned for residential small lots. I do believe that, but it's more towards where the bridge is crossing.
Yeah, but the BLM land, they're not going to touch.
No, they can't go further east than we are. And west, I think, is all 5-acre parcels. They may go down to 1 or 2 acres, but nothing smaller than that.
But we have to say where the BLM land is, when you first look at it, it looks like it runs to the last street, which is like we are second to the last.
Yeah.
But when you go to that street, there is a little canyon. I don't want to say canyon. A little
ravine
that blocks us from the last street to the BLM land. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
There is
plus,
a little barrier.
If everyone's worried about water runoff in that valley, that ravine would catch it way before it came to us, in my opinion. I have to be out there during a heavy rained winter, but I'm not. I stumbled across that the first time. I was like, whoa, this thing, this is a water diverter times 10, and it's natural. No one dug it.
No.
It looks like it just got carved out naturally. So I'm thinking all the water goes that way.
For
if
sure.
I had to guess. So, yeah. So Dayton's got a lot of stuff going on. Lyon County's approving everything that comes across their desk, and I don't. Fine. It's all over on the other side.
You know what's funny about it? You and my brother were all gung-ho about the auger and the tractor and getting out there and doing the fences. And then Mother Nature had another idea.
If you don't think we're capable of working in the cold, we are.
Well, I haven't seen it yet.
No, we are.
But it's kind of funny. You guys were all like, we're going to go. We're going to do it.
Because we didn't want to start cutting in the ground in January because it's always frozen. And this January wasn't frozen. We're like, okay, if God's going to just hang on to the summer a little bit longer, then we're just going.
Yes.
So then we go get everything set, and he's like, no, now it's going to be cold. Well, damn it. Make up your mind. We could have been poking holes and dragging stuff all January. But
yeah, and you're on the phone with my brother, and you guys are stomping your feet going, oh, my gosh. You guys are
because at any minute it's supposed to turn. The weather's supposed to turn any weekend, any minute. So we're waiting, and by the time we're like, okay, we're not waiting anymore, then the snow piles up.
Yep, exactly. So.
Whatever.
All right, can we be done today? I have things to do today.
I doubt.
I got to go watch snowfall.
Yeah, you gotta go out and look out your window and be mesmerized again. I think that's it for today. I don't have a car story
I
for today.
thought that was a really good pod. We covered a lot of stuff today.
We did. Look at me. How long? Feel the pain in your back. How long?
No, actually, I'm feeling pretty good.
Good.
Hour and a half.
1 hour, 39 minutes.
Oh, cool.
It's been a little bit longer, a little bit shorter next. I think I started recording a little bit. So, yeah, about 1:35. You're pretty close.
Thank you.
All right, so if we're done here, I guess that's it for the podcast. And then I can start. Today's always our busiest day at GenXtalks. We got the podcast in the morning. We got the World Show tonight. And in between, we have a bunch of stuff to, the podcast, we have to download it, edit it, render it, get stuff done. And there's a laundry list of stuff that we got to do in between daily. So we'll get to that in a few. Also, for those of you that don't know, I did another 2-minute drill. It's been months since I did a 2-minute drill, but it is posted for you guys for your dancing and listening pleasure. I also, in addition, people that hung up early are going to wish they stuck around. I started writing a story. Mm-hmm. I wrote like 2 paragraphs, and then I added 2 more paragraphs, and then yesterday I added like 10 paragraphs to the short story. Took a very unique twist, but you got to be on the member site to see it. If you're not part of the member site, for those of you that have been going, we really miss your writing. We miss your short stories. So I finally started doing it again. It's been 2 years since I've written anything. I think my wife probably has every short story I've ever written. You probably have 1,000 of them.
I do.
Stored up somewhere by now in a box.
I do.
But I started writing another one again. Took a very weird twist. And I like writing, so I'll keep that story up. But if you have to be on the member site on Patreon or the General's Lunchbox on Facebook, just find that page, the General's Lunchbox, or just become a YouTube member. Go to the postings, the community section. Did you know YouTube has a community section? It does. You can see it, but if you're not a member, it won't let you open it. And the story is called Two Strangers, so that's a fun one to do. And last but not least, I'm disappointed in all of our fans.
Oh, just today?
No, been a week.
Okay, what's that?
I made something, I created something, I hid it in plain sight, and no one has gone looking for it.
Wow.
How utterly disappointing.
Let's just leave it at that. We'll see what happens between now and next week.
I'm sorely vexed, as they say.
That's okay.
All right, say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Thank you, guys. Right now, as we're signing off, it's 11:38 Los Angeles time from the Loop Studios in the deserts of Minden, Nevada. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening along. Not sure where you're chiming in from around the planet, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you're listening in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember 2 things in life. Number 1, wherever you go, there you are. Number 2, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I'm out, baby. I got to go.
Bye-bye.
And we're done.
Life is a wild way you roll, no telling where it goes. Nobody really knows, and it doesn't really matter now. Now we talking, say, you're chasing. It's it's real. No,